Good morning, students. The next topic we are going to see is about weightlessness and the weight of an object. So, what is meant by an apparent weight is everyone would have used with an elevator, which would felt a jerk when the elevator takes off or stop. We know very well when we use with the elevator, if suddenly if it is starting, then we feel some jerk, is not, and suddenly if it stops also, we feel a jerk. Yes, why does it happen is understanding the concept of weight is crucial for explaining this effect. So let us consider a man who is inside the elevator, and we have following situations. Yes, so what are the situations we'll see. So, whenever you are considering a man who is standing in the elevator, there are two forces acting on him. One is gravitational force, and the other one is normal force, because this is the elevator. Okay, and just consider that one man is standing over here at this place. Okay, so this man, whenever you consider any object, that object will experience what? Downward gravitational force, is it not? And upward is what? The normal force. This is when you consider the object. Yes, same way here also this man experiences downward gravitational force, upward normal force. Okay, gravitational force which acts downwards, and the normal force which acts upwards, and the gravitational force is given by Fg is equal to minus mg into j cap, and the normal force is given by n vector, which is equal to n into j cap. So why we are writing with this j cap means because both are acting along the y direction, because this is a y direction and we know that this is a x direction, is it not? Since both are acting along the y direction, இது ரெண்டுமே y ல தான் இருக்கா, இது ரெண்டுமே y ல தான் இருக்கா, so அதனால j ன்னு எடுத்துக்கிறோம். Here why we are writing with a minus sign is because it is in the negative y direction. So கீழ இருக்கிறது என்னது நம்மளுக்கு negative y தானே, இங்க இருக்கிறது என்ன positive y இல்லையா, so அதனால இங்க வந்து minus mg அப்படின்றத எடுத்துக்கிறோம். Clear? So the two formulas are Fg is equal to minus mg into j cap, n is equal to n into j cap. Clear? So first condition is when the elevator is at rest. Okay, so when the elevator is at rest, what happens is the acceleration of the man is zero. Okay, so the acceleration is considered to be 0. When the acceleration is considered to be 0, force what happens? F is equal to என்ன formula நம்மளுக்கு m into a இல்லையா, this is from Newton's second law. So a is equal to 0 ன்னு substitute பண்ணா F என்னோட நம்மளுக்கு 0 தான் ஆயிடும். So the net force is 0. Okay, hence with the respect to the initial frame, second law of motion, we know Fg plus n is equal to 0. So இந்த Fg என்றது என்னது gravitational force, n என்றது என்னது normal force. இது ரெண்டையும் ஆட் பண்ணாலும் நம்மளுக்கு என்ன வருது? 0 தான் வருது. So when the elevator is at rest, total force is what? 0. Okay, so when the elevator is rest, it is 0 அப்படின்னு சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. Clear? So substituting with the value of Fg here, Fg is what? Minus mg into j cap. Then n is what? N into j cap. Yes. Now removing with the value of j cap in this, okay, and this can be written as n minus mg. Now bring this mg to other side, we get n is equal to mg. So அப்ப என்ன சொல்லலாம்? n as it is. Okay, mg க்கு பதிலா என்ன சொல்லலாம்? Weight. Okay, because mg is always equal to what? The weight of the object. So W is equal to N. Apparent weight is equal to the actual weight. Okay, so apparent weight is equal to the actual weight of the object. Okay, so this is a condition when the man is at. So the next one is when the elevator is moving uniformly in the upward or the downward direction. This is the same as the before condition, because even when the elevator is at rest or when it is moving uniformly, then we can say that the acceleration is 0. Okay, so the net force acting on the man is also 0. It moves with a constant velocity. So constant velocity அப்படின்றதுனால force is 0. Clear? So this is the same as a before case. Okay, so in this case also apparent weight is equal to the actual weight. Okay, so we have the diagram. So this is the diagram. Since this is moving with a constant velocity in the upward direction, the man will experience no force. Okay, and the apparent weight and the actual weight are equal. Clear? Then the next condition is when the elevator is accelerating upward alone. Okay, so upwardல மட்டும் போச்சு அப்படின்னா, if the elevator is moving in the upward acceleration, then A is given by what? A into J cap. Okay, then applying Newton's second law, we get Fg plus N is equal to what? This Newton's second law is what? M into A. Okay. First condition என்ன பார்த்தோம்? Fg plus N is equal to 0 because acceleration is 0 ன்றதுனால. Okay. Now substitute the value of Fg and N in this. Okay. So what is the value of Fg is minus mg into J cap plus n into j cap is equal to m into a vector எழுதலாம் a into j cap அப்படின்ற term எழுதலாம். Okay, so this will be the next minus mg into j cap plus n into j cap is equal to m a into j cap. Throughout this, first cancel with the value of j and bring this mg to this side. Okay, so we get n which is equal to m a as it is here. Okay, minus mg if you are bringing this side, that becomes as plus m into g. Clear? Now bring this m outside, and so the remaining is a plus g. This a plus g can also be written as what? G plus a. சரியா? So இதுல apparent weight ன்றது என்னது? n தான். n is apparent weight. Okay, so that apparent weight is equal to what? m into g plus a. Okay, so it is greater than the actual weight. Okay, so the apparent weight of the man is greater than the actual weight. So this is a third case. Okay, so first two cases we saw that apparent weight and actual weight are equal. Here apparent weight is greater than the actual weight. So this is a diagram which represents with the lift which is moving in the upward direction. So when it is moving in the upward direction, it has with a constant acceleration a. Clear? Then next is when the elevator is accelerating downwards. If the elevator is downwards acceleration, then it can be written as minus j cap. Why it is so? Because it is in the downward. Upper minus y. Okay, negative y axis அப்படின்றதுனால minus a. Okay, now same formula fg plus n is equal to m into a. அதே மாதிரி எல்லா வேல்யூவும் substitute பண்ணுவோம். fg is equal to what? m minus mg into j cap, and this is n into j cap minus m a into j cap because a vector is equal to minus aj ன்றதுனால. Okay, now cancel with the value of j and bring this to other side. Okay, so we get which is equal to minus m a plus mg அப்படின்னு கிடைக்குமா? Okay, now taking with the m outside, and if you just rearrange it first, this can be written as mg minus ma ன்னு எழுதலாமா? Now take m outside. Okay, so we get m into g minus a. Okay, so this is the equation which you are writing here. So n is equal to m into g minus a. அப்ப இதுல என்ன சொல்லலாம்? Apparent weight is less than the actual weight அப்படின்னு சொல்லலாமா? Okay, so apparent weight is lesser than the actual weight. Okay, so this is this case. So this is a diagram. Here it is moving in the downward direction, this acceleration. Okay, so it is experiencing with a minus a. Clear? Then next we are going to see is about weightlessness of a freely falling bodies. Okay, so whenever a body is falling down freely, how it feel? Weightless. Yes, freely falling object experience only with a gravitational force. So when any object is falling down freely, what force it experiences? Only the gravitational force. Okay, as they fall freely, they are not in contact with the any surface. Okay, since they are falling down freely, they are not in contact with any surface, so the normal force on the object is what? Zero. Okay, since here it is not acting on any object. Okay, so ஏதாவது ஒரு object வந்து ரெஸ்ட்ல இருந்து அப்படின்னா, then we consider whether two things, gravitational and the normal force. Here it is falling down freely, it is not in contact with any surface, and so normal force is zero. The downward acceleration is equal to the acceleration due to gravity. Okay, and so we are writing a is equal to g. Okay, and so a is equal to g அப்படின்றதுனால what is the last equation we have seen is n is equal to m into g minus a. Is it not? In this, substitute the value of a in this as g, so we get g minus g. G minus g is what? 0, and so n is equal to 0. That is the normal force is equal to 0 அப்படின்னு சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. Okay, this is called as a state of weightlessness. Clear? When the lift falls with the downward acceleration, then A is equal to G. The person inside the elevator is in the state of weightless or free fall. ஸோ நம்மளுக்கு வந்து சப்போஸ் வந்து லிஃப்ட் வயர் இஸ் கட் அப்படின்னா லிஃப்ட் வயர் வந்து கட் ஆயிடுச்சு அப்படின்னா தென் த லிஃப்ட் ஃபால் டவுன் ஃப்ரீலி இஸ் நாட் அண்ட் தட் டைம் just the person inside can feel that he has no weight. Okay, why? Because the acceleration are equal, that is the acceleration will become equal to the acceleration of the earth. Okay, and so he feels weightless. This is the same even when the free fall. So free fall you would have just played in even the amusement parks, is it not? There also, during the ride, when the free fall happens, what happen? The person who is sitting on that will experience a weightlessness. Okay, and next is weightlessness in the satellites. This is a wrong notion that the astronauts in the satellites experience no gravitational force because they are so far away from the earth. So far away from the earth அப்படின்றதுனால they will not feel any gravitational force அப்படின்றதுலாம் இல்லை. Actually, the Earth satellite that orbit very close to the Earth experience only the gravitational force. Okay, so even which is nearer to the Earth also it experiences with the gravitational force. The astronauts inside the satellite also experience the same gravitational force. Okay, so astronauts also will experience with the same gravitational force. Because of this, they cannot exert any force on the floor because the gravitational force will be more. Okay, and so gravitational force more இருக்கிறதுனால என்ன ஆகுதுன்னா they will not able to stand on the floor. Thus the floor of the satellite cannot exert a normal force on the astronaut. So suppose if this is a floor அப்படின்னா இந்த floor வந்து என்ன பண்ணணும், ஒரு நார்மல் ஃபோர்ஸ் எக்ஸர்ட் பண்ணணும் இல்லையா? கிராவிடேஷனல் ஃபோர்ஸ் இருக்கு. Okay, but there is no normal force from the floor, and so the astronaut inside the satellite are in the state of weightlessness. Okay, not only the astronaut but all the objects in the satellite will be in the state of weightlessness, which is similar to that of the free fall. Okay, all the objects will feel weightless in the satellites. Clear with this? Thank you.